Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the month of June, the sign of Gemini. And in the Mayan calendar, today's the day of the deer. I'll tell you a little more about that later. So let's begin. Begin with sort of clearing the space and attuning the space to our purposes and ourselves to the space. And just do your best to tune into the sound and let it carry you.
Can't hear it, Carl.
Are you hearing it? No? I know. I haven't forgotten this in quite a while, but I did tonight. Okay, you'll hear it now. I turn to the west. Hail to the spirits that ride the west wind, you who come to bring us our learning, what we have gathered from the past, from the day, and to prepare us for the visions of what is to come. Come, and at this transition point in our series, give us the vision of the way forward. Come. Come. Hail to the spirits that ride the north wind, you who come out of the dark. Come and bring us your mystery, and let us enjoy that mystery. Come. And I turn to the east. Hail to the spirits that ride the east wind, you who come at the dawning of the day. Let the opening eye of the morning sun reveal to us what has been hidden, and what our day and our future might bring us. Come. And I turn to the south. Hail to the spirits that ride the south wind, you who come at the lightest part of the day, and bring that light, and bring the words, the music that lets us celebrate our everything, and give us the words for our music and our poetry, and to tell our stories. Come. And to the spirits of this place and each of our places, Thank you for your hospitality. And we are here now. And we are here to celebrate your presence and ours, and to attune with one another. We are here. Father Sky, Mother Earth, ancestors and nature spirits, people of the Fae, all of us warmed by the great spirit fire. May you find this sweet. Hooray, hooray, hooray. We are here, in this place now, clay and water from the earth, sun and wind from the heavens, a divine home for soul, abiding at the center of our being, in the center of the worlds, on the threshold to the horizonless other world. We are here, in this place now, and it is good. Yeah, we're here. Welcome again. And well, we're here. We are. We're at the last session. So, what I'd like to do is kind of review where we've been, and then we can share what ideas or people's experiences and all. And I have my syllabus that I'm not going to go through even everything, but some of the things we did was to connect with the instinctive wisdom of our spirit, our animal helpers, and we looked at the directions and the elements there, and the directional drumming that we did to see which of the directions sort of had an energy for us in some way. And we looked, as I said, the elements of fire, earth, air, and water. Then we did middle world journeys to a beautiful place, merged with the wind. We went twixt and between in one of the journeys, and visited our local spirits, some of the powers of the land on which we lived. Looked at some of the secrets of childhood, and the spirit behind some of our childhood experiences. We did a wordless journey for a song that often terrorizes people, and then we also visited ancestral spirits, hopefully strengthened our relationship with our ancestors, and looked at what our lineage has been and what's been passed down to us. We went to visit a holy person or a special person in our line, and we did the intensive shape-shifting journey last time to merge with a helper and experience how they experience joy. So we've been a lot of places over these months. And that's just a synopsis. So what I'd like to do is to just open it up now to share people's experiences, whether they're stories, poems, songs, or just even thoughts about, whatever. And I do want to say, there's no need to feel bad or somehow lacking if you've not been called or felt inclined to write, like write poems or write songs and such. It's okay. This whole notion of a shamanic spiritual path is that you select from a menu of tools and practices those things to which your life responds, not what somebody else might expect or not some external standard to meet. Again, it's the things to which your life responds, the things that feed your soul, and that join with you wherever you are in your life. So that's a long-winded way of saying if you weren't inspired to write something, that's okay. Just go with it. You know, a lot of the time it's really enough just to enjoy the sunshine, or the rain, or whatever it is, or the fact that you have shelter, because that brings you present. So, all that said, what do you think? Anybody have a poem or a story or an experience to share? Yeah, Heidi, go ahead.
Um, this time taking the classes, because I've taken a couple of rounds with you now, the turn of the wheel, anyways. And this time, things have been more visual for me.
Hmm.
Instead of writing, I've been drawing, and I'm looking back on all of my notes, and there's a lot of pictures in there, more than handwriting words.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of it were drawing out some of my journeys and stuff. So I just thought that was really cool that during this season of classes, things came to me more visually. And I've been out photographing the different so the equinox and so the photos and the drawings, it's been really kind of different to be more visual than the poems and the songs.
Neat.
Yeah.
Neat.
And I appreciate it because it's also, I just wanted to say thank you too, Carl, because of that, it's even deepened my daily practice because now I feel like I'm seeing more and more and more
Hmm.
than I did before.
Oh,
So it's been pretty cool. So appreciate these classes, even though I know I've missed the last few, but schedule wise, but it's been pretty great to notice things on an even deeper level than before. So thank
thanks.
you.
Glad you're here. Yeah, and I think that's an important thing. I think it's one of the pitfalls of what often passes as shamanic work these days. It's so intellectual. We want to learn things, which means somebody tell us something, or explain something, or and doing things just for an experience. We don't often do, or at least some of us don't often do. I don't know, maybe. But you've come to Heidi. You just came to your senses. Another, at least one more of your senses. Um, yeah, thanks.
Well,
But
Carl, I want to talk about
yeah.
out of all of these uh, classes that we did, the one where we journeyed to our spirit helper for the joy of them, to experience them, was probably one of the best journeys I've had in years
Mm.
because I got to know my dragon friend. And it was like I now have an intimate friend. And I found out that this dragon can be huge or it can be little and sit right here on my shoulder and kind of nuzzle me on the cheek. I mean, it's a really good friend that I feel and I have a heart connection to. And it makes me want to do that with all of the rest of my animal helpers and go back and do that with my lighted ancestors because it's been a while since I've really connected with them. It made me realize that my connection with all of the helpers except for my cat Tigger, um, it's really more functional or maybe intellectual. It's it's not that heartfelt, hi, how are you today? Kind of a thing. And I want that with the rest of them. So I've got some journeys to do.
Yeah.
But I really appreciate that one. So thanks. That was
Thank
a
you.
great
Thank you.
journey.
Yeah, I think I have something to say about that too. Um, this we so often journey. I mean, the journeys, the whole shamanic perspective is so useful. I mean, it was used for societies to survive in the really old days. You know, they had to find those herds or they'd starve. And so and they needed healing and spiritual direction and all that. So it really was a serious matter of survival. Now we don't have that same kind of need these days, the survival needs in that way. The physical survival. But what I'm concerned about is people's personal psychological survival. That this is my view I guess as a psychologist, watching what society is doing, it's draining the heart out of people. It's stripping them of their humanness to make like a factory machine out of people, or an economic resource out of people, and to try to have things so intellectual. And with, I mean, you know what it's like out there in the political world today. There's so much an emphasis on fear and anger, and that's being used as a tool to manipulate crowds, populations, of people. The act of joy is a tremendous rebellion against that. Not only that, it fosters our own personal survival. Because it looks to the strength of the heart and asks us to pay attention to what makes the heart come alive. What are our sources of joy, of bliss? And so I think, Anne, your suggestion, that's just so needed these days. And I'm glad you mentioned that for my own sort of plan to go forward with more of that for myself. So I'm not always thinking, not always trying to solve a problem, not always trying to respond to some stupid thing that some politician said. I'm arguing with them all the time in my head, and why don't I just go play with the animals? Enjoy what the spirits enjoy, which is even a deeper and wider thing. Anyway, there's my soapbox. Yeah, go ahead, Heidi.
I was just gonna say, people ask me why I am not posting more things politically or whatever. And every morning I get up and I sit on my front step and I watch the hummingbirds and the sun come up. And I think about those joyful things. And that's how I try to start my day, with that connection to the sunrise, to the birds. And to not be negative. I do feel like that's rebellion. It's like people think, oh, well, you don't care because you're not posting about this or that. It's like, no, it's because I do care that I'm posting the flowers and the birds instead. And for this class is the place that under you know folks here understand that part of it, and that the best place to go is nature when you need that relief from what's happening everywhere else.
Yeah,
So
so
yeah.
it's valuable. I mean, I have to keep reminding myself, in each moment, what am I contributing to the collective consciousness? And it's not always very nice. um, and that this is a way to contribute the joy that is I think, deficient. My old hypnosis instructor would say, everything necessary for the preservation of life, the Creator made pleasurable. So anyway, that was his thing. Yeah, okay. Anybody else? What? Go ahead, Sandy.
The old unmute there. One of the simple little things that you said or wrote out one time was in the morning toward the east, taking in the air. And sometimes something really simple, easy to hook onto. And it was just a deliberate thing. Luckily, the door my dog likes to come in the morning faces east. And I'm already letting the dog out. And it was just a conscious effort every morning to step out a little bit onto the deck, look around, and even though that's really short, it's been a very, very useful.
Nice.
Useful and easy and helpful.
Thanks.
So I did put aside when we did the wordless journey for Heart Song, and we're going to make something of that. It took a couple days, and I could share that. So it ended up being rather a poem. It's like so. Water droplets, orbs of color, frissions of music arcing, flinging, dissolving. Raised flat hands holding touch. Rhythmic stepping feet and bodies swaying, measured, together untethered. Husks cracking, hands opening, throats unfurled, rising, seeking circular spiral connection. A new birth, a rebirth, a shimmering recollection, this bubble of time.
Beautiful.
Thank you. That was, I felt like trying to put images into words, a wordless journey. So it was a.
I mean,
it ended up in words.
It's a trick question, isn't it? Oh, thanks for that.
I thought it really worked because when I closed my eyes, it wasn't the words, it was the vision. So thank you.
Yay, thank you, because that's what I was trying to get the flashes.
Yeah, it worked. Anybody else?
Well, I'll go next.
Okay, Brent.
I grew up in a situation where I was kind of forced into being a good student and following the rules, like some of us. And so my rule is at the end of each shaman session or period to kind of review. And so I usually go away to a hermitage or someplace, and that's part of what I do is I go through my notes and I come up with just like a single page of highlights of all the notes that we've done in since last fall. And I've been doing that for many years now, and it's just kind of fun to see what's really, of all the notes I took and journeys, what really sings to me or what's important to me. So that's real helpful to me, and then I can just review it on one page. And I had some nice insights, of course, as we all do. But one thing that I always think about is when we started doing classes years ago at the church, I think in November or sometime like that, or the harvest, we would come up with a list of goals for the next year or ways to live for the next year. And I've always done that. And so my affirmations for fall of 24 to 25, where we're at now, I'll just read them off to you because I kind of follow that, and I have a sticky by my desk and I look at that frequently. But anyway, it's forgive deeply, be mindful, foster warmth and vitality. And then I was with my sister Naomi down in Georgia recently, or in March, I think it was, and we talked a lot about these classes and what we're doing. And we both came up with the idea that a good affirmation is to live with ease, EASE, live with ease. And so that really helps me when I see those words, live with ease, to lighten up, just lighten up, and live with ease, because that's being joyful. So I thank you very much, and I really, really do appreciate these classes and this community. It's just really been very beneficial to me. And fun.
Thanks, Brenda. That's a great idea. I think maybe I'll do that. It'd be a good summer activity. Yeah. Yeah, thanks. Anybody else? No? Well, what I thought we'd do is do a journey, and of course we've thought about, I've been like prompting you about reviewing, whether you did it or not, it's okay. Nobody's getting grades in these little suggestions of homework. But anyway, we've had our perspective of what things we got out of it, but our spirits may have gotten something out of this too. Remember, one of the basic tenets of shamanism is that our relationship with the spirit helpers is a mutually rewarding relationship. It's not just them enlightening us and giving to us and feeding us like we were the center of the world, but they get stuff out of that. They get stuff out of joining with us. They get to experience. They from their side get to experience our world through us, and so it's another reason to go for the joy. Give them some fun. Make it a good time for them. So anyway, so what I like to do is sort of under the idea of the way forward. At this point, now, what do your spirit helpers offer you and need from you now? Or you might also ask, what is it that they've received from their association with you? So you have a kind of a little menu you can choose from. So, again, at this point, here, we're at this transition point of coming to the end of the series. you may remember too, at the very beginning, we sought a spirit helper for the series. And that would be one that would be good to visit and say, okay, what now? You know. So anyway, so that's all. This is pretty vague, isn't it? So you can go visit with that spirit again, and maybe they're finished with this and they're going to go away. Maybe they like it and they're going to stick around for some more. Maybe they have something they would like from you, or maybe they have a gift for you. Or maybe they want you to experience their joy. Who knows? So kind of have to decide what you're going to do. You could just sort of enter the shamanic state and just have the relatively open intention of communing with your helpers at this point. And then ask whatever questions or engage with them in a way like you're running into an old friend. And see where that takes you. It's sort of a wrap up or a closure of where we've been. Okay, is that vaguely clear? All right. So. This will be about 12 minutes, so it'll be a nice leisurely visit. Let's break here, and people can finish making notes or take a break for 10 minutes. So we'll come back about 3 minutes to the hour.
Hey,
Okay.
Carl.
Yeah,
Carl,
Heidi.
I actually have to leave at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
I'm leaving at 3 a.m. for Memphis.
Oh,
I'm gonna go see Graceland with my family, believe it or not. So I'll
oh.
be looking for Elvis's ghost.
What do you want to
Ah,
skip? Do you want to? Do we need a break?
well,
I
it's
mean,
okay. I just
yeah.
am
No.
take a break and I just won't come back. I just wanted to say goodbye to everybody
Okay.
and thank you very much. And I want to connect soon about some other stuff and if y'all want to connect, please reach out.
Okay.
See ya.
All right. Yeah. Let's not bother with a break. Uh, we don't have a whole lot. I don't think.
Take care, everybody.
See you, Heidi. Happy travels. Um, yeah. Okay. So, what's the way forward? What do your spirits want from you or offering to you?
I'm
I
fine either way.
Pardon?
I said I'm fine either way.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
It's
let's
early on.
yeah. It's early on. I think we're gonna have an early night. So, my
Do you mean on the way forward? What's the way forward at like from our journeys?
yeah. From like now we're ending this series. So what do you do now?
Fun is what I look. I gotta listen to what I do right now. But mine was fun and fully living life. But it wasn't. I didn't actually ask the question on the way forward. I was, what can I do for you?
Mhm.
What do you receive from me? What can I do more of?
Uh-huh. And fun was the thing.
Fun. Mhm. And living
Yeah.
fully. Hmm.
Mhm. My helper that came just for the series is going to stay, at least for a while, because they're having too much fun too, and probably think I need it. And it was sort of the big message for me was like stay close to nature. My conscious intent has been like, okay, I'm going to get off into the world of writing again and planning things and doing all that intellectual stuff. But they're saying no, get low, get into the soil, be humus, you know, or humility. So sort of stay low and stay in touch with them. Anybody else want to say anything about?
So I had kind of an interesting journey that I started out seeing a lot of things. And I'm just seeing myself moving through trees and that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
And the further I go into it, the more I started to feel. I started to feel the air. I started to feel the moisture. I started to smell and started to become more present. And I'm kind of going like, okay, so maybe it's the difference between being intellectual, seeing, and a little more visceral. And kind of go, and there's a place in the woods I go to, and it's not quite a clearing, but a little open space. And kind of see it like there's this guy that would just go and sit in this space every day and um, just be quiet and just kind of enjoy the space. And that caused the space to kind of take on a certain sacred air. And and the sense that this sacred isn't something we find, it's something we create. You know, we kind of have to be present and put our energy into it and recreate that. It doesn't come to us. So,
Hmm.
my story.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Kurt.
This is a little bit not, it's a little bit different, but it fits a little bit with what Kurt was saying. And Carl, how you're feeling about the earth and how, it's just trying to stay connected in this crazy world. And the thoughts that I had coming out were just to be present and to feel my world and to share my world and to feed my world and to be my world and then to be the world. So it's just like all the interconnectedness. And I mean, you don't want to go crazy and, try and say, oh, I gotta do all this shit. But, it's just really to connect. And being on the land is one thing that just really helps me ground, you know, the hummingbirds, the deer, the turkeys, whatever. I just get happy when I look outside. Oh, look at who's out there today. it, remembering those things are important to me.
Sweet. Thanks. Yeah, it reminds me of that John O'Donohue and his presence is the most sacred thing there is. It seems so simple. Anybody else?
I'll say that for this whole series, my spirit animal has kind of been a mischief maker and causing trouble the whole way. And so this journey was different in that they just were there and they were just walking through the trees through the whole time. And so no mischief making, just kind of a nice calm stroll.
There you go. Thanks, Daniel. Anybody?
I had a interesting journey, and it's says a lot about the whole series for me and my whole experience with trying to journey and how I operate in the world. It's really hard for me to separate or um, not be hyper vigilant all the time. And so to journey, you kind of got to let go of that for a minute. And so the moments I've been able to let go and really be present, not in the surface world here, but present, just present, it's just been really wonderful. And it's been experiences I haven't had before. So anyway, tonight when I went to talk to my helpers, one helper popped up that actually I never used, and it's about midway during this series. He showed up, and it was this dolphin that would dance around on its tail and laugh and smile and said kind of like pick me, way back at the time. And he'd show up every time, but I never engaged with him. And so he showed up this time and said, why didn't you pick me? That's one of your issues. You got to have fun. You got to have some joy, you know? And I just really felt that why didn't you pick me? And anyway, it was kind of a eye opener. Like, why did I ignore this guy who was there all the time?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
Well, neat.
it's kind of a wake up call.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I think that's true for all of us. I haven't heard anybody say their spirits were saying, get serious and get on the job or whatever you're going to do.
Uh,
Tell us lighten up.
right. That and oh God, now I lost my train of thought. Never mind.
Maybe the train will come back.
Yes.
Anybody else? Okay. Well, I guess the only thing I'll say before we So here's what I'll do. I have some closing comments, and then we'll do our formal closing, and then we can sort of hang on for announcements, or I have some suggestions of things people might want to do in the summer, if you want. Maybe we can generate some more, and so that'll come after the closing, but we'll keep the recording going. Because half the time I don't remember. I have to go back and get it. So anyway, so here we are. And if you've heard me say all the time, we're here in this place now, clay and water from the earth, sun and wind from the heavens, a divine home for soul, abiding at the center of the world. And we are, we stand at the center of the circle of the horizon, and in direct relationship with the directions. The directions as defined, those directions weren't defined by some culture or humanity. Now what they mean has been, the directions were defined by the movement of the earth and the sun. So it's that relationship that gave us our directions, north, south, east, and west. But then we also live in this network of other visible and invisible creatures, and we all share the rhythms of that larger world, as well as this thing we call consciousness. I mean, we're embedded in nature, embedded in this consciousness. And I hope something of what we've done over these sessions has helped remind you, as it has me, of our connections to the self, that we live with here, that we often overlook, at least I do, connect us with our spiritual resources, and also to that world, the natural world around us that includes the spirit world. So, I hope some of that may have been fulfilled. That was my hope. But begin where you are. That's at the bottom of your agenda every time. Begin where you are. This point in time is the point of decisions. Everything happens out of the decisions of this moment, and the next moment, and the next. And at this point in space, it's the clay home of your body. And again, it's that center of the horizon. There's magic there. Your immediate world is the place where you live. There's magic there. So again, begin where you are with whatever you've got. Don't try to live up to something else. As I say, begin where you are. That's where the magic is. Peace. So let's thank our helpers from the directions, and then chat a little bit. Some of the things forward that we've got going. I turn to the west. Thanks to the spirits that ride the west wind, you who have come to visit with us and to help us gather our learnings over these months, and to open our vision for what might be. But our time of parting has come. Go if you must, or stay if that be your will. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And to the spirits that have come on the north wind, thank you for coming here and bringing the mystery, the things we always have to discover. But the time of parting has come. Go if you must, or stay if that be your will. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thanks to the spirits that have come in on the east wind, you who bring the eye of revelation, helping us to learn things we didn't know before, to show what has been hidden. But the time of parting has come. Go if you must, or stay if that be your will. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And to the spirits that have ridden here on the south wind, thanks for being with us and giving us the words and the music for our experiences, to tell our tales and to share with one another. But our time of parting has come. Go if you must, or stay if that be your will. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And to the spirits of this place and each of our places, thank you for your hospitality, for being the ground under our feet, the sky over our heads, and the place of our immediate horizon around us. But our time of parting has come for the moment. We will go, but carry you in our hearts. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's finished. Okay, I had some ideas for things you might consider, for the summer. I wrote these down like mostly for myself, but I thought, one is to enjoy the change of the season. We're moving into the warm times, and in and out, as it is right now. But to actually pay attention to that and enjoy it, find the joy in it. I mean, that's something I have to remember there. And another thing, watch something grow. A weed out by the sidewalk, or something in the garden, or a tree, or an animal. Just watch it grow. Don't try to take a big lesson from it. Don't try to intellectualize about it. Just enjoy it, watching it grow, because there's growth, and there's joy in that growth out there, I think. And if you like, if you're up early enough, at sunrise and sunset, watch the changing light. It doesn't have to be sunrise, because it's awfully early now. And that can be addicting, in a way. I a couple of years ago decided I was going to spend 1 month, like from new moon to new moon, getting up by sunrise and singing at the sunrise on the deck. Of course, it's early enough; nobody's around, so it doesn't matter. But I'm singing to the rising sun, but I take my camera, and they're always it was the changing clouds in the morning that were just so fascinating, and I got an endless bunch of beautiful pictures. Most of the time, some days when there were no clouds, it was really kind of boring. So there's more beauty with the clouds. Anyway, and then at sunset, I would go out and play my Irish whistle a bit, so I get the sun coming and going. Well, I got into the rhythm of that, and I was enjoying it so much, I just kept it going for months, until it got too cold. And here's another thing that we do when we have in-person seminars. In the old days, we'd go outside and with a tree, and get really close to the tree with the tree's permission, and breathe with the tree, with the awareness that what it's exhaling, you're breathing in. What you're breathing out, it needs to live. It needs the carbon dioxide, and you need its oxygen. And spend a few moments breathing with the tree. And so, I mean, you could do that with lots of plants, but I'm just sort of partial to trees. Do people have other practices they like in the summertime? There's gardening, of course. I mean, but again, to do it consciously. I mean, connecting with the consciousness of the garden, the consciousness of growth and fruiting, and then giving up the fruit.
When I try, can't say I always do it, but I do attempt to really just be outside when I'm milking in the morning. It's a nice practice. We only have 2 goats for everybody else that's here. It's not a big operation, but it is something to sit and just look around at the nature that's around me, because I face away from the house. I'm not on purpose, just the way it's set up. And that's a really this summer, as I was thinking about how busy we are and do I want to keep doing it, one of the things I really like about it is just that practice of every morning that I do it. I don't milk every day, we trade off, but I really like that.
Neat. Thanks. Yeah, in case you don't know, she has goats. And so has to milk.
I must say, though, I complain about going to work during the school year, that during the summer, I actually miss it because I'm used to that half-hour drive and watching the sun come up and the whole process of being just quiet. So I don't usually do that because I usually sleep in and miss all of that during the summer.
I miss those drives too. I mean, I really have since I retired. I did a lot of good stuff while I was driving. Maybe that'll be a practice I can take up. Just aimlessly driving.
I don't miss it a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Find your own. Find what, again, makes your heart come alive. Yeah. All right. Well, looking forward in the fall, right now, my plan is to do the shamanic astrology. Not do another one. Not do another parallel series. When I looked at my curriculum for the Restoring the Sacred series, I wasn't inspired. So I'd have to either reinvent it, you know, or not, or just not do it. And I thought I'll just let that rest. If something inspires me later in the year, I'll consider it. But my focus is going to be on the shamanic astrology, and I already have sort of the planning in my head for it, with an initial. Well, for one thing, keeping it small. Not allow 30 some people to register like last time. Not everybody came then, of course, but to really keep it as a small 10, 12, maybe 15 people at the most, so that we can really individualize better. I don't have much hair to pull out now, so that'll be something that'll save a lot. And then, like I said, we can really focus, and I'm looking to sort of like, okay, how can I tweak this to still add value, add still more value to it. But the general routine, I think, will be as we did before, of looking to three sources of meaning for the planetary positions in our charts. You know, what the books say, you know, what it's supposed to be, you know, from tradition, what your life is telling you, you know, how have you really experienced it? And then the third thing is, you know, what does that spirit say? What's the spirit of the sun trying to express being in the place that it was in when you were born? You know, what does the spirit of Jupiter have to say to you? And so each session will be looking at those three sources of hopefully wisdom, or at least just some information as we go through. And so each session will have an introductory session. We'll have some like basic concepts of astrology, and then we'll start with the sun, the moon, the rising sign, and then the personal planets, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, the social planets, Jupiter and Saturn, the transition planet of Chiron, which is the wounded healer, and then the transpersonal Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. And there'll be some probably some special things. I still have that. I can still get into the starlight. I don't know how many, if everybody's had that, of the position of the stars. It supposedly tells us the trajectory of our soul before it comes into matter, and then our regular horoscope chart takes over. So we'll have that in. And I'm, you know, at the moment I'm studying something in the Mayan astrology, and you know, I don't know how deep to go into that, but that might be something we can just sort of add for fun.
Carl, will we be using, those of us who were in your last class, will we be using the same charts? I mean, would it be helpful to use the same charts? Because obviously the charts haven't changed.
Yeah, it'll be the same chart.
Yeah. Is the class going to be somewhat different? It sounds like it. Because last class was more introductory, I think, for
Yeah,
the most part.
I don't know really. Um, I think it will, because I'd like to add, if time will permit, add more about the aspects to the other planets.
Mm-hmm.
So just because Mercury's in Aquarius, okay, if it's opposed to Saturn, that gives a whole different nuance to it, and I'd like to be able to dig into that, which we should be able to do with fewer people. So
Have you switched the sound?
yes.
Thank you.
All right, sorry about that. Yeah, I didn't turn it back up after the drumming. Yeah.
And you're still going to do the Wheel of the Year.
Yeah, the Wheel of the Year will continue as it has, you know. And so our next one will be, I guess, summer solstice, which is not that far off. So that's what I have planned. Is there? Yeah, another suggestion. One more suggestion coming out of what Anne had said. You know, let's experience more of the joy of our helpers. You know, how they experience joy. And that does them a service, because they get to experience us experiencing joy. So I think that could be a big thing for all of us. So, okay. All right, we can stop the recording.